Imagine this. You've just spent £400 on a certification and 3 months studying for it. And then you sit down in an interview and the hiring manager has never heard of it before. That happens more often than you think. You've decided you want to work in cyber threat intelligence. You've looked at the job postings, threat analyst, CTIA analyst, intelligence researcher, and you want in. So you Google best certifications for cyber threat intelligence, and you get hit with a wall of acronyms: GCTI, CTIA, CRTIA, BTL, Security Plus, CYSA Plus. Everyone has an opinion. Nobody is telling you what you actually need right now at the start of your career to get your first CTI role. Well, that changes today. I'm Adam, and if you're new here, this channel exists to help you break into cyber threat intelligence and understand what the job actually looks like on a day-to-day basis. Today, we're talking certifications, specifically the ones that will help you land your first cyber threat intelligence role, not the ones you chase after 5 years of experience. I've coached people through this exact transition, from a security operations center analyst or SOC analyst to a dedicated cyber threat intelligence role. And the same expensive mistake keeps coming up, going straight for the gold standard certifications before building the foundation underneath them. That costs thousands of pounds and months of study time chasing credentials that hiring managers aren't even looking for at that entry level. So here's what I'm going to give you: a clear, logical certification progression that takes you from 0 to CTI ready without burning your savings account. 4 certs in the right order with the reasoning behind each one. Let's get into it. The first thing you need, and I know this sounds basic, but stay with me here, is a CompTIA Security Plus. I can already hear people in the comments saying, Security Plus is for help desk, not CTI. And you're not entirely wrong, but here's the reality. Security Plus is the credential that gets you through that initial HR filter at most organizations. It validates that you understand the fundamentals, like networking, threat vectors, basic cryptography, and incident response concepts. Without that foundational knowledge, CTI work doesn't make sense, because CTI sits on top of operational security. Take it, move on, and use it as your launch pad. A caveat here though, if you have a bachelor's degree or master's degree in a technical field like computer science, you can probably skip this one. Next up, we have the CompTIA CySA Plus, the second foundation cert you should be targeting. This is the cybersecurity analyst specific certification offered by CompTIA. It is where things start to get interesting, because the CySA Plus is explicitly about analyzing security data, identifying threats, and recommending defensive actions. Sound familiar? That's the beginning of threat intelligence thinking. CySA Plus introduces you to threat hunting concepts, behavioral analysis, and the idea of using data to make security decisions. All of these are core skills in a CTI role. It shows a hiring manager that you're not just interested in CTI, but have the analytical security background to back it up. Now, here is the cert that I genuinely believe is one of the most underrated in the industry, especially for people who want to break in to CTI. The BTL1 is a 24-hour practical simulation You are given a mini incident in a live lab environment. You have to investigate it, reconstruct the attack timeline using a SIM, apply digital forensics, and even use threat intelligence tools to understand what happened. This is the closest thing to CTI work you will experience before you're actually doing it professionally. I can tell you from my own experience, when I was working at an MSSP SOC environment, the thing that separated the analysts who progressed from the ones who stayed stuck was their ability to actually do the work under pressure. Not recall definitions, not reference to textbooks, but sit down, look at the real data, and produce something useful using their hands-on skills. That's exactly what the BTL1 tests. And when I've spoken to hiring managers about what makes an entry-level candidate stand out, practical demonstration and talking to it in an interview comes up every single time. BTL1 gives you that proof before you've had your first day in that CTI role you're chasing. The BTL1 even has a dedicated threat intelligence domain baked into the certification. It covers the core tiers of CTI, what we call strategic, operational, and tactical intelligence, and focuses on threat actor research and global campaign analysis. This is not another theoretical exercise. You're actually practicing the skills you'll use on the job. If I was starting over right now and had a limited budget after Security Plus, I would jump straight to BTL1. It is that good for entry level. The third cert I want to talk about sits slightly above that pure entry level role, but it's worth targeting once you've got your foundation built, and that is the EC Council's Certified Threat Intelligence Analyst, or CTIA. Here's why this one matters specifically for CTI roles. While certs like Security Plus and CySA Plus show that you understand security broadly, CTIA is structured around the intelligence lifecycle, planning and direction, collection, analysis, and dissemination. That's the language CTI teams use every day. When you walk into an interview with a CTIA and you start talking about intelligence requirements, stakeholder analysis, and how to transform raw threat data into actionable reporting, you sound like someone who's already doing the job. The CTIA version 2 curriculum, which is current for 2026, also includes modules on cloud environment threats and gives you exposure to over 50 different threat intelligence tools. That breadth of coverage matters because CTI analysts are expected to know what's in the tool landscape, even if they don't use every platform. The exam itself is 2 hours, 50 questions, multiple choice style. It's generally manageable with proper preparation, and you can get an exam voucher for around £400 to £500, with self-paced training options available that keep the cost accessible compared to other premium certifications. For an entry point, it's a solid credential to get. Let me bring this together into something you can action today. Here is the certification progression I recommend if you're targeting your first CTI role. Step 1. Start with the CompTIA Security Plus. It's your proof of foundation. Get it and move on. Step 2. Go straight to BTL1. The practical exam format and the dedicated threat intelligence domain make this your most powerful entry-level differentiator. Employers can see the difference between someone who has passed a theory exam and someone who has completed a 24-hour live incident investigation and who can talk about it in an interview. Step 3. Work toward the CompTIA CySA Plus. After the intensity of the BTL1, going back to a CompTIA exam can feel like a step sideways, but the CySA Plus fills a different gap. BTL1 proved you can do the work. CySA Plus proves you understand the analytical framework underneath it. It rounds out your profile and it sits on the recognised intelligence analyst career track. Then, step 4. Once you have operational experience, like 6 months in a SOC or entry-level security role, you can move on to try and get the CTIA by EC Council. This is your bridge credential, the one that says, I understand the threat intelligence discipline, not just using it as a buzzword. That's your roadmap. 4 certifications, logical progression, each one building on the last. You don't need to have all of these before you start applying for roles. Security Plus and BTL1 together are generally strong entry-level combination, so start applying once you have them. Then keep building and building your profile. Before I wrap up, I want to be direct about the mistakes I see people making so that you can avoid them. Mistake 1. Going straight for that GCTI or SANS course. The GIAC Cyber Threat Intelligence Certification, or GCTI for short, is the industry gold standard. It is associated with the SANS 4578 course that costs thousands of pounds. It is an advanced credential. It is not where you should start. Build your foundation first. Get experience, then invest in the GCTI when you're ready for senior level roles. Chasing this cert before you've got the basic security credentials is like skipping GCSEs and applying directly for a PhD. Mistake 2. Collecting certifications without getting experience. Certifications open doors. They don't replace time in the operational world. CTI roles require you to understand what an alert looks like in the SOC, how incidents are escalated, and what threat actor behaviour actually looks like in real logs. Get into a SOC role, do threat hunting, and build that operational base. The certifications validate the skills, but you need to have the skills first. Mistake 3. Ignoring free resources. The ISC2 Certified in Cybersecurity certification currently offers free training and exam vouchers. The Google Cybersecurity Professional certification on Coursera provides solid threat modeling and incident response foundations for a low monthly fee. And platforms like TryHackMe or Hack the Box have dedicated CTI learning paths. Use these resources while you're building toward your paid certifications. The hands-on experience they provide is invaluable. To summarize, the best certifications for landing your first CTI role in 2026 are CompTIA Security Plus as your foundation, BTL1 as your practical differentiator, CySA Plus to deepen your analytical skills, and EC Council's CTIA as your CTI specific bridge credential. These certifications are recognised across the world. Start with Security Plus and BTL1, gain some experience in the SOC, and keep building. If you found this useful, hit that subscribe button because we cover threat intelligence careers, tools and tradecraft every week on this channel. And drop a comment below telling me where you are right now. Are you pre-SOC, in your first security role, or already making that move towards CTI? I'll point you toward the right next step for you. I'll see you on the next one.